And good morning, Joe Justice here, coming to you live on July 12th, 2023. It is Wednesday, and I'm excited to be with you on the Home Gym Hustle Heroes podcast. Hope you are having a fantastic week. We're halfway through the week, and we've got just a little bit more to go. So, I want to invite you, if your week's been a little rough, if you're not staying caught up with what you know you need to be focusing on diet and exercise and focusing on improving your health and living a healthy lifestyle, I want to encourage you to go to homegymhustleheroes.com/join and join my challenge group. We do regular workout sessions, and we'll be doing those all throughout July and into August, having lots of fun. Also have a group where we share information, motivation, and inspiration to help you move forward in your fitness journey, and I am a big fan of that. If you have any questions, comments, be sure to send me a message, drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to hear more about. Would love to hear from you and know what it is that you would like for me to talk about when it comes to improving your health, when it comes to dealing with your kids and fitting, your life, your work, your kids, everything into a healthy and holistic approach to life. That's what I like to talk about. That's what I like to help people with. I'm not an Instagram superstar. I'm not Joe Aesthetic out there, showing off my six-pack abs and trying to convince everybody that I'm not taking steroids. I'm just a regular guy that's been able to improve his health and fitness through behavioral techniques that I've learned and would love to share with you. And on that note, I wanted to talk to you about today exploring the connection between physical fitness and emotional well-being. So let's talk about emotions a little bit. So one of the biggest reasons you need to consider emotions and you need to consider emotional impact when it comes to really achieving any goal, but particularly something that's very difficult, is it's emotions that drive you forward. And let's think about that for just a second. People do not behave by reason. You think that you behave by reason. You think that you make decisions. You don't make decisions. You think that, you sit and you consider all the possibilities, and then you say to yourself, well, this is what I'm going to do. These are the decisions I'm going to make. I'm going to decide to brush my teeth today. I'm going to decide to go to work today. I'm going to decide to eat dinner today. And if that was true, then all of this would be very, very easy, wouldn't it? You would say, I'm going to decide to exercise, then you would do it. But how often does that actually happen? I'm going to decide to eat healthy today, and I'm not going to have any junk food. And then you would do it. But that's not exactly what happens, is it? Instead, you get pushed by emotions that, kind of push you in different directions. You go into the office and you smell donuts. Somebody brought donuts. You smell those donuts, and all of a sudden, all that logic, all of that reason, all of that deep thinking and exploring nutritional science goes right out the window because all of a sudden you're hungry and you're driven by something else. So let's take a look at what that something else is. Let's think about emotions. So just to kind of put a visual image to it, to give you a picture, imagine you're out in the bush and you're walking through the bush and there's a rattle in the bushes. You're in the outback, and there's a rattle in the bushes. Well, what is it? Well, if you stop to consider it, if you stop and think, well, what kind of animals are there around the savannah this time of year? Well, let's consider what kind of sights and signs and things that there are to look at. Let's consider what there is to, what might be hunting what around here. Well, you're already dead, because if it was a lion, it just jumped out and ate you. If it was a snake, it just slithered by and bit you. Like you're gone, you're dead, because you used your reason to try to figure out what that noise was. Instead, you've got this part of your brain that responds very quickly. And that part of your brain is what drives your emotions for the most part. And that's the part that's going to propel you forward, because that's your motivational process. The part that actually gets you to jump out of the way, they get you to hop up, they get you to run, they get you to move, they get you to commit. All of that is the emotional part. And none of that is reason. None of that is logic. It's way logic and reason and thinking just takes too long. So instead, most of this stuff is done through emotions. and emotions become the driver. Well, let's think a little bit about some of the emotions that are involved in these decisions that you make on health and fitness and the kinds of things that you run into with health and fitness. Because what ends up happening is you get into this really destructive kind of cycle whenever you're unhealthy. And there's a lot of people that think that, like, even something like depression is actually like that's an emotional response because humans don't like to be in depression or anxiety similar. It's a state that you don't want to be in. So it's an emotional state that is designed to propel you forward. Of course, the downside to that is once you get depressed, then you have a difficult time moving forward. It actually inhibits your ability to move forward. But in moving forward, you're able to escape that depression, which again, that might actually be what the depression is for. Have you ever thought that that's if you're feeling depressed and anxious, that's your body saying the state that I'm in right now is not good. I need to change this state. Now, what does that mean? That might mean, it might be diet, exercise. It could be the kind of people that you're hanging out with. There's all kinds of different things that could mean. But that anxiety, or that depression, those are states that are uncomfortable. Same thing with pain. Pain is the exact same thing. We don't like to be in pain, so as soon as we feel pain, we jump away from it. Depression and anxiety are very similar things. So whenever you're not nourishing your body properly, your body knows these things, even though you might not. Because let's say food that's just not healthy for you. Let's say processed grains that for all kinds of reasons they don't have the proper nutritions, vitamins, minerals, all that kinds of stuff. They're empty calories. They cause huge spikes in insulin. The body doesn't process them very well. They cause, leaky gut. There's all kinds of things that like processed grains will cause over time, chronically. So maybe your body takes that information and over time, it gradually begins to understand what's happening with it. And it's sending you these signals, emotional signals, that you need to do something. Now, you don't notice that mentally, consciously. You don't notice that in the forefront of your thinking. All of that processing is happening subconsciously, and that's your body kind of warning you. So you get into this depressive state because your body's not healthy. Well, how do you get out of that depressive state? You start exercising, you start eating better, you start improving your diet. So the thing that's important to understand when it comes to emotion and physical health is that they're linked. They're tied together. If you want to improve your emotional well-being, you need to improve your physical well-being. If you're not physically healthy, you're going to be emotionally miserable. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to have depression. You're just not going to feel motivated. You're not going to feel like you can accomplish anything. You're going to be depressed. That's just what's going to happen. So yeah, early on when you get into a healthy lifestyle, you'll feel resistance because you have to build up the habits first, and habits kind of are kind of like the background operating system that you have in the back of your mind, and you have to build up those habits in order to overcome the emotions, and mentally, consciously, you have to override those emotions. You have to force your way through those to build those habits, and then in improving your health and improving your wellness, that will generate new emotions that will help you feel good, help you feel motivated, give you energy, give you zest, vim, vigor, vitality, all of the good stuff that you want to propel yourself forward. So that's what I want to encourage you to do today. Take the smallest step, whether it's a half-hour walk or whether it's just skipping the cookies at lunch. Get some of that negative food, some of that dirty food out of your diet, and you'll start to notice that the closer you come to your natural diet, the better you'll feel. And sure, it's difficult at first, but over time, you will improve and you will get used to it, and you will really come to enjoy it, and your emotions will improve along with it. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and the rest of your week is fantastic. And I just want to encourage you again to go to homegymhustleheroes.com/join. Join me on your next fitness endeavor. I will help you out with the information inspiration and motivation you need to push yourself forward. Come join me and let's have a great time. Until Friday, bye-bye for now.